Good evening. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to our August the 22nd City Commission meeting. As with all of our meetings, we start with a prayer and a pledge. And tonight I'm going to call on Commissioner Beeman to do that for us. So if you would like to join us in the prayer, please stand. Commissioner Beeman.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Before I start, I would like to for us to lift up in prayer the family of Greg Fricks, the son of the former Commissioner Bill Fricks. And also, before we go into prayer, I just want us to think about those who are hurting and suffering and going through a lot of turmoil in this time of the new normalcy. So will you join me in prayer? Bow, please. Dear gracious and heavenly Father, we come to you today just asking you to keep us lifted up in wonderful spirits, Lord. I know that there is a transition that's taking place, but Lord, I want everybody in here to know that you are still in control. You're the guidance of all our deliverance. Lord, I pray for the leaders. I pray for our mayor, our city manager, and all my fellow commissioners. Lord, I ask that everyone continue to believe and trust and know that we are here for you and we have your back and that we were all appointed by you, Lord. I ask that you cover all the families and all the ones who are hurting and suffering right now, Lord. I ask that you continue to let us know that you have not brought us this far to leave us and that you got us through this storm. Lord, these things that I asked in your name because we're going to continue to trust you through the deliverance. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Beeman. Mr. Clerk, if you will, call the roll.
Yes, ma'am. Mayor Stevenson.
Here.
Commissioner Cochran. Here. Beeman.
Here.
Doss. Here. Quick.
Here.
Askew.
Here.
Collins.
Here.
McDaniel.
Here.
Thank you, sir. Approve of our minutes. There was one correction to our minutes to our August 8th, 2022 meeting, and that was the library board. We had an incorrect date when that board meets. And so with that correction, there's nothing else. The minutes will stand approved by common consent. Okay, moving on. Proclamations. Tonight we have Firefighter Appreciation Month, and I'm going to call on Commissioner Askew.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I'm looking over and I'm seeing firefighters. How many of you firefighters were involved in the promotion ceremony last week? Congratulations on your promotions. We are extremely proud of you and the effort that you put forth to make our community safe. And any of you who would like to, Chief, if you'd like to come up and join me for this proclamation. That's a good idea. And this proclamation reads on this wise: City of Rome, Georgia proclamation. Whereas in 1869, the Mountain City Company No. 2 Volunteer Firehouse was founded, which was a prelude to the current Rome-Floyd County Fire Department. And whereas firefighters today protect our lives, our families, and the economic life of our communities from the threat of destructive fire, often at great personal sacrifice. And whereas trained and organized firefighters, our neighbors, are a valuable resource to our community, it is fitting and proper that as a grateful community, we recognize the invaluable service of the hardworking men and women who serve in the Rome-Floyd Fire Department. Now therefore be it resolved that on behalf of the Rome City Commission, our Mayor Sunday Stevenson does hereby proclaim September 2022 as Firefighter Appreciation Month. and call upon all citizens of Rome and Floyd County to join in expressing their appreciation for the exemplary services provided by the dedicated members of the Rome Floyd County Fire Department. Given her hand and seal this day, the 22nd day of August in the year of our Lord, 2022.
Thank you, Commissioner. On behalf of the entire Rome Floyd Fire Department, I want to thank the City Commission for this recognition, and as always, it's an honor to protect and serve our community every day.
Got it. It is also a privilege of mine to read a second proclamation, and it reads on this wise. By the Governor of the State of Georgia, a commendation. Whereas each year the Georgia Association of Fire Chiefs acknowledges an outstanding fire chief of the year. Whereas Rome Floyd Fire Department Chief Troy Brock started his career within the Rome Floyd County Fire Department on October 1st, 1990. And whereas Chief Troy Brock made it Rome Floyd Fire Department's mission to encourage, promote, and implement plans pertaining to the health and wellness of their department members, and whereas through the positive working relationships he has established within the Rome Floyd community, Chief Brock has been successful in assisting the department members obtain a significant pay increase for their demanding and dangerous line of work. And whereas the Rome Floyd Fire Department under Chief Troy Brock's administration is partnering with organizations like the American Red Cross, Salvation Army, Muscular Dystrophy Association, Sheriff Santa's, Toys for Tots, Rome Floyd Fire Department Intern Program, and the Rome Floyd Community Smoke Alarm Program. Now, therefore, I, Brian P. Kemp, Governor of the State of Georgia, do hereby commend Chief Troy Brock. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the Executive Department to be affixed this first day of February in our Lord 2022. Fire Chief of the Year. I didn't dare pick this up because I did not want to be the one that broke it. Yeah, that will come out.
Again, I want to thank the City Commission for this recognition. I want to thank my family for being here. But I couldn't do any of this without my team and the entire Rome Floyd Fire Department. We're a great family, and it takes all of us. And I'm just fortunate enough to receive this, but it's really an award for the entire department. Thank you.
Again, we want to say thank you. We appreciate you all because you're what makes everything work. You're protecting us, and we certainly appreciate it. Now, if you came just for those, and if you have to leave, we'll give you about 10 seconds where you can leave, but we'd love to have you to stay. Okay. Okay. Thank you all. It is. Take you 4 minutes to discover how to get it in the box. And okay, moving on our agenda tonight, we have one registered guest, Mr. Ken Wright. If you will, you go to the podium and give us your name and your address. Okay, Ken, about 5 minutes?
Yeah, 5 minutes of work.
Okay.
And I'm glad the kids got dismissed. That was good. So my name's Ken Wright. I'm P.O. Box 324, Silver Creek, Georgia. And even though I'm here to speak, this is not really something I wanted to speak about, but I think from awareness standpoint that I needed to speak about. And I'll just read. So Rome, Georgia recently made national news, but not in a good way. The title of the article reads, Family-Friendly Event Features Sex Toys and Drag Queen Performances. The article goes on to state that advertising for the event included family-friendly and a Pride Kids zone that included face painting, live DJ, hairstyling, and story time. At this event, drag queens read to kids, and vendors featured sex toys on display in the presence of kids. There's video and photographic evidence showing a child tipping a drag queen and sex toys displayed on tables in full display of kids. The national article also states that the police took no action to stop these things from occurring, although I personally know law enforcement officers that are both offended and disgusted by what went on in the presence of children. This isn't really a question about whether you support this type of lifestyle or not, nor is it about the choices of adults. Opinions don't really matter. What does matter is the law. This was in violation of no less than 4 federal laws: promoting lewd acts to a minor, exposing minors to obscenity, and enticing minors for sexual activity. There's 3 of those. And these kids didn't just see this accidentally. These kids were enticed to come to this event with the promotion of a family-friendly story time, face painting, and things like that, which leads to further violations. It also occurred in a public park, a taxpayer park. There's a reason that adult stores have restrictions related to customers 18 and older, yet this was ignored at this event. Sponsors and customers of sponsors were not aware of this type of illegal behavior would take place. As a matter of fact, some of these sponsors are highly upset. Their reason for sponsoring was an open environment for acceptance, but not for something like this to take place. However, the parties in charge of this event certainly had full knowledge that children would be present, and these adult stores knew that and that they would be displaying their items. So these vendors were aware, and the persons responsible for this event were aware. My ask is simple, that all parties involved in creating this event be investigated for violating laws related to their roles in the corruption of minors. And if they're found guilty, I would recommend this event be banned from Floyd County and, of course, these vendors from participating in an event like this. Please assure the citizens that this commission and the city police will act on this complaint and follow up with the state and federal authorities as needed to bring these child sex offenders to justice. This has damaged our community, including citizens, businesses, schools, real estate market, and industry recruitment. Now is the time for damage control to minimize the damages caused by this irresponsible and immoral event. Evil persists where good people do nothing.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, moving on to our Agenda Alcohol Control Commission, Commissioner Beaman.
Joe, would you like to start it off?
Sure. Well, as we summarized in caucus tonight, a week ago, the Alcohol Control Commission met in this room for their normal meeting, and that included a hearing regarding Peaches, 325 Broad Street. And we've distributed the ACC minutes which summarize the action of the hearing. You all have also been copied on the police report of the night in which the incident occurred that led to the hearing, which was a large fight inside of Peaches. I believe it was in the early morning hours of Saturday, July 30th, perhaps. But you all delegate to the Alcohol Control Commission to be your fact-finding body, and they conducted the hearing. They heard from the police department regarding the circumstances that night, heard from the owner of Peaches, 325 Broad Street, and questions were asked and consideration was given. And at the end of the hearing, two actions were recommended. One, that Peaches meet with our police chief to develop a written plan for their security personnel going forward. It'll be the number of security guards on various nights depending on the size of the event, as well as the training or any particular training that would be required of those security guards. The second recommendation was that the alcohol and entertainment license at Peaches be suspended for a 2-week period. So that's what's before you tonight. That's the recommendation of the Alcohol Control Commission.
Thank you. Commissioner Bennett?
So I didn't know if we needed to go into further discussion or the recommendation.
Make a motion.
Make the
If you have a
recommendation,
motion.
okay. On behalf of the Alcohol and Control Commission, there is a recommendation for a 2-week suspension on behalf of the entertainment and the pouring license for the Peaches business.
Okay, you putting that in the form of a motion?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, let me say one thing before you go any further. Even though we're not having another hearing tonight, it's customary to allow the licensee of an establishment the opportunity to address the commission. Again, not to introduce new evidence, not to have another hearing, but we do allow them the opportunity to speak to you all if they wish. And the licensee of Peaches is here tonight, so we've heard the recommendation. We know what the motion of the ACC, the recommendation of the ACC is. The motion before you. Now will be time to hear from, her name is Stephanie Shaw, the licensee of Peaches. And Ms. Shaw is present with us tonight.
Ms. Shaw, if you will you go to the podium and give us your name and your address, please, ma'am?
Home address or business address?
Business address, please.
Business. Stephanie Shaw, and 325 Broad Street, Rome, Georgia, 30161. Let's see. After the meeting, I have a meeting scheduled with Ms. McKinney tomorrow at 1 p.m. It's the first time she had available. Tried to do earlier. We played phone tag, went back and forth. But I did have an open weekend in between this, so I was worried. And I emailed you who to contact and everything because I know that Chief McKinney's going to ask me, and we're going to work out a plan for a officer to be at my establishment while I'm open. So I did get an officer, and I looked up, and I got a good one, and it worked out great. And I was under the impression that officers could not come inside while they were working for me, that they had to sit outside. Completely different. He came inside. He was great. Everything I look for tomorrow's meeting to be really good with her and going forward. And it's a great plan. College kids just came back. It's just now my season, so it's looking really good.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Shaw.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Could we ask questions? Madam?
Please, yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, yes.
Do we need a second on the motion?
Yeah, I was gonna say, we don't have a second on the motion yet, okay.
You can ask her, if she's speaking, so while she's up here, you should ask her
Okay,
questions.
go ahead, okay. On my right, go ahead, Commissioner Collins.
How long you been in business?
This is my second year, July 31st to.
Have you had big crowds of over 200?
I've had really big crowds. I've had very small crowds. I have it varies. It's all about the time of the year and which concert is going on. And during the summer, I had been the prior 2 weekends before this. I had 50 people. Then I had 80 people. I pulled all of my numbers and everything of how many people that I did have. Summer, June, July, it is extremely, extremely.
My question to you is, If you got 100 people, how many security you plan on having?
101, and the cop, and the policeman.
Excuse me?
One, and the Rome City Police.
One security and the Rome City Police.
Yes, because I have everybody wanded at my door, and the Rome City Police does not do that. So I will have an officer there that wands and checks everybody as they come in the door, and then the officer's always on premises.
I'm gonna make sure, am I
So
hearing
too.
that right, Joe? So she's saying to me, there's a police officer for the city of Rome at her establishment, and plus a security guy.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So he's hired by her, not on us.
That's correct. Been
Okay.
off-duty, post-certified.
Is that, if it's 2 per 100, is that ratio about right? Does that sound right?
I don't know.
If it's, officer, if she's saying she got 100 people and it's 2 certified police officers, does that ratio sound right?
Well, there is a FEMA recommendation. It depends on what type of events you're having. If it's outdoors, indoors, in a confined space. I'd have to research the number, but there is a recommendation for that. But I would, in my opinion, that would suffice if you had an inside security person and an outside post-certified officer for 100 people.
Great.
Definitely, I think, in my opinion, would be.
My next question to you is, have you had a situation like what you had this past weekend
No.
at your establishment before?
No.
Have you ever
I've-
been
I've-
cited by the ACC before?
No, this is my first offense ever, and I have been doing this and in this business since 1998.
Your first event?
Yeah.
First cite?
I've not been an owner since 1998, but I have been in the restaurant and bar industry since 1998. This is my first one ever.
Do you consider yourself part of the downtown community as far as heeding to the rules and regulations?
I do, to as much, I should go to more meetings, should join the Chamber of Commerce, and I don't know as much as I'd like to know, a lot of the laws and everything, but I'm extremely busy, and I do consider myself, yeah, I'm just a different time frame. I'm late at night.
Do you think the recommendation handed down by the ACC that you went before is fair?
Being my first violation, no. Being that I am a planned event place and it could possibly hurt my concerts that are pre-sold for, multiple tickets and singers and everything to be suspended for 2 weeks. No, I'd rather be fined, so, than suspended.
You do think you should be held accountable for the actions that happen at your establishment?
I should, but with that fight, it's a one-time event, and I'm glad everybody's alive. It was a really worst thing ever. I don't know if everybody's seen the video or what, but I do not know why there has not been more charges brought. I don't know, but it's the worst fight I've seen.
And just one more time, you've been in business how long on Broad?
On Broad, 2 years.
Thank you very much. That's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Anyone else on my right? No questions? Any questions from anyone on my left?
I have one, Madam Mayor. So, in the history of all the incidents that's taken place at that establishment, have you ever encountered any information on what took place prior to you owning it?
I worked for Eric McJunkin, the owner before me, for about 6 or 8 months. Probably longer than that, probably about maybe a year.
So that is a yes, that you were aware of the incidents that took place prior to you owning it?
The year before, but it's been brew house and everything for years, so.
So you were aware of the fact that in the past history that incidents did take place at that establishment?
I have heard,
Okay.
I hear rumors, and I didn't actually pull the police reports.
So in the statement that you made that this was the worst fight that you've ever, brawl, really turned into a brawl that you've ever seen.
It was the worst fight that I have ever seen in the beginning. The fight that was tried to break up. The fight that was just started in my place with the people that arrived with a party that was unannounced, untold, and everything that was secretly passed on Facebook that showed up. They literally were beating this man almost to death.
And the incident turned into everybody, multiple people inside your establishment
Yes,
fight.
mostly trying to stop the first fight.
But there were additional fights within the establishment.
Yes, as the others were trying to protect this man that was down on the floor as they stomped him, they were trying to get others off of him, and they would turn and fight. Yes.
And also in the report, it stated that every police officer that was on shift was called out to your establishment during that night.
I'm not sure. We called 911.
That was in the report. Also, it stated that that some of the people inside of your establishment turned on the police officers.
No, that was the initial first fight. That was the party that arrived completely. That was the initial fighting. Is one family.
Okay, I was at the hearing and I heard that. But
It was outside though. The cops, they never came inside.
But every police officer that was on that shift had to come to your establishment.
I don't know how many was on shift. All we did was call 911. That's what we have, an emergency, and I didn't call all of them. I don't know.
So my point is that this incident could have escalated with just how many security officers that you had on site? You had over 100 guests, but how many officers did you have? Security officers?
One that was, he's not certified. He's not, he was standing in. He's just that is the reason that I feel that I need to be punished. But it is summertime. I had less people. I had everything. There was no need for an armed guard. If I had an armed guard, that boy would be dead.
And in your notes, you also mentioned that it was one individual that was going around maybe touching people inappropriately, and no one identified the security guard or went to anybody to share that there was something going on before the fights escalated?
There was a party that happened on my dance floor. That was one family, a related family. A man that was definitely from out of town, because he had an accent, my bartender talked to him. He got up and touched the little sister. Once he touched the little sister, it went from there. They went to stomping his head against my bar with their feet. I actually felt the fight before I saw it.
And how did you stop the fight? How was the fight stopped?
It eventually moved, and I turned on the water hose.
You turned on the what now?
The water hose.
Okay.
I have a 140-degree instant hot water hose, and there was so many fighting that I had no idea what else to do. So, yeah.
I don't have any more questions.
Anyone else on my question?
Ms. Shaw, we appreciate your time with us tonight, and I know you're on the hot seat.
Mm-hmm.
But the commission is very concerned about peace and tranquility in our downtown, and that's very important to this commission. And so, quite frankly, I feel sorry for you because things escalated out of your control. But this commission is serious about protecting our downtown. Thank you.
Any other? Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I have a motion for suspension of, how many weeks did you say, Commissioner Bean?
Entertainment and the pouring license for 2 consecutive weeks.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a second. Discussion? All right, Mr. Clerk, if we call the roll.
Yes, ma'am. Commissioner Cochran? No. Beeman?
Yes.
Dawes?
No.
Quick,
No.
Askew,
No.
Collins,
Yes.
McDaniel.
No.
Madam Mayor, I have that motion failing by a 5-2 vote.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion pertaining to the recommendation of the Alcohol Control Commission, that the recommendation include the meeting with the police chief, but a 4-week suspension for the business.
Okay, I have another motion on the floor for a 4-week suspension, that also includes the meeting with the, police chief. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. In discussion?
Yes.
Okay. Mrs. Jones?
Madam Mayor, I've been around this commission for quite a while, and I view every opportunity as being a teachable moment. And at this point in time, I feel like this is one of them. It was quite a bit of discussion in caucus about the opportunity to raise this suspension from 2 weeks up to 4, even though we have a citizen-led ACC commission that pretty much a lot of them have establishments, just like the one that's in question here today. The teachable moment come into play, in my opinion, as to the facts. And our facts was really based on what the young lady was charged with, and that was the fact that she did not have enough security in place to actually take care of the citizens that came in, etc. But that wasn't so much it for me. It's the fact that you have a business owner that, in my opinion, have done a lot of things right for us running her establishment on a regular basis over 2 years, has no violations whatsoever. And then I have to think about going forward, the future, and what that might hold for some other establishments on Broad that might run into the same type infraction. And I'm basically coming to you before and hoping this will be not only a filmable moment, but a moment that's etched in this here minutes, in this here important time. Whereabouts if some of the other establishments that have that same perfect record that this young lady got, and say an incident happens similar at their establishment. I just want the opportunity for this here same commission to be held accountable in the same manner, whereabouts we give them the same punishment that might take place at the very next time that this might happen to an establishment that maybe been down there abroad for more than 2 years, maybe even 5 or 10. I sat through many hearings. I've also sat on the ACC. I don't even recall a time when you have had 3 or 4 infractions being suspended on the first offense. That's on a 4 week. I don't even remember that. We're living in some different times. I understand in social media you can do just what it did to that young lady. You can go to the establishment and have 4 or 5, and before you know it, you might look up and have 100 because of the fact that they done contacted their friends, etc. Bill Collins did not feel any different about downtown Rome than any of your commissioners that you see sitting here. We garnish it, protect it, and do everything we can to make it the crown jewel that it is. I don't feel any different. But what you will find out from Bill Collins is I try to be as fair as I possibly can be, and I'm gonna treat everybody just like I wanna be treated, and that's fair. I don't care who you are, what color you are, etc. I'm gonna try to do it according, in my opinion, how the next man should be treated. And if so be it, next month, and it may not even go that way then. But from this seat, you can rest assured, I'll be voting this way from now on. Just want to do what's, in my opinion, is right. If you go back and check any of the history of Mr. Clerk's books, she'll be the first and she'll be an exception.
Any comments?
I agree with my colleague here. I think it is a teachable moment. We talked in caucus. Some of us have served on the Alcohol Control Commission. Some of us who have been in this community for a long, long time remember when we had a lot of vacant storefronts on Broad Street. We know the efforts that were made with Streetscape. We know a lot of efforts that have been made over the years. And
I'm sorry. I'm gonna wait till you get to go ahead. Go ahead. I told the mayor I gotta leave in 15 after, but I got 5 minutes, okay?
okay. We have developed something in our downtown area that is the envy not only of the state of Georgia, but throughout the South. We have people that are coming to Rome now to see our downtown. We talked in caucus about some of the events that we've had here. And because of the investment that's been made over the years, we've got something really special down there. And it's a burden on the people who sit on the Alcohol Control Commission. They're citizens. We have one commissioner that sits on it. She's a non-voting member. We had an open container vote come before the Rome City Commission, and I was opposed to it because I thought we'd have a lot of problems because of it. And I was wrong. We haven't had any problems that I know of because of open container. And I'm glad to say I was wrong about that. But I think it's incumbent on the city commissioners who don't just deal with alcohol and businesses. We deal with every matter that comes before the city of Rome. We employ a city manager to keep us informed about the happenings of the city of Rome. And with all of the activities we have, everybody's going to end up on Broad Street. And it's got to be a safe place. It's got to be a secure place. And I think it's incumbent upon the Rome City Commission to have a higher standard. And that's the reason I think 4 weeks. And I think we're 16 officers short on the city police department. If you keep up with the news, we've got a lot of, in the daytime now, we're having to have a lot of officers at Rome High School and in places that we typically haven't had to have officers. It's very difficult to get an officer. I heard this today from an officer. We'll work certain events, but we don't like to work the bars. It's just a whole different environment. So I think it's incumbent upon the Rome City Commission to make a message, and I'm fully comfortable with the recommendation for 4 weeks.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else on that?
Social media was mentioned, and the actions of anything in downtown Rome are going to automatically flourish through social media. It sends a message to everyone. Our role is to enhance our community, make sure that the message coming out of our community is one of safety and welcoming. And in light of all of the businesses that serve this community downtown, we need to make a strong statement tonight. And I support the 4 weeks.
Thank you. Either one of them?
So I believe in being fair, I believe in being firm, and also believe in consistency. But what I am concerned about is that downtown is not the only place that has entertainment. So say, for instance, if we're setting a precedent and we're saying that any business that doesn't have accurate security, anyone who has a fight that takes place that they didn't know that was going to take place, we're going to shut down the next person's business for 4 weeks. So we're going to be consistent. So this is the message that we're sending out. Inaccurate security will result in 4 weeks of shutdown. So I'm just saying, I do believe that there should be a punishment. I do believe there should be a punishment, but I don't know about the 4 weeks.
Any other comments? Okay.
So, Mayor, as I understand it, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but this establishment is only open 2 nights a week. And so I think the commission became concerned that if we follow the 2-week suspension, we're just closing the business 4 nights. And we felt like that wasn't a strong enough message. I do have concerns about the planned event. I don't know what the license holder can do, but I do have concerns. I would be concerned if I was a business owner. But I think what weighed into the 4 weeks was that not just 4 nights, but that would be 8 nights. Thank you. This is a little bit different because the last time we faced a suspension, we didn't have an open container law, which I did support. And so there was a promise from this commission that we would make sure we had no problems in our downtown. And so it's unfortunate for Ms. Shaw and Peaches, but it's something that I feel like we need to do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. There's a base level of responsibility that every business owner has to acquiesce to. Every single one of us. When you add alcohol into the mix, you go to a higher level of responsibility. That's just the way it is. The reason that I have a feeling the reason that Peaches hasn't been cited before is because most of the things that have happened actually haven't happened inside of the venue. They've actually happened right outside of the venue. Open container is a greater benefit to the merchants downtown. It requires a higher level of responsibility. And why I appreciate Ms. Shaw saying she preferred to be fined. Fined just means legal for a price. So that's not what we're after here, at least from my seat. There have consistently been issues around Peaches. This is the first instance that it's happened inside of Peaches, but I would say that that is the symptom, not the disease. The disease is lack of responsibility. Just a base level of responsibility as a business owner, and even a more deferred base level of responsibility as an alcohol license holder and an entertainment license holder. Broad Street walks on a razor's edge between family friendly and open container and alcohol and everybody having a good time. And if somebody is derelict in their duty to provide a base level of security and something like this happens, then I think there should be punishment associated with it. And while I appreciate what Commissioner Beaman is saying and what Commissioner Collins is saying, I agree that 2 weeks is not enough, and I would prefer the 4 weeks. Thank you.
Will the comment, Mr. Clark, if you will, please call the roll.
Ma'am. Commissioner Cochran,
Yes.
Beaman,
Yes.
Dawes,
Yes.
Quick,
Yes.
Askew,
Yes.
McDaniel.
Yes.
Thank you. That's 4 week suspension carries. Thank you. All right. On to item B. Under this, thank you, we have again Ms. April Turner. If you will, go to the podium, give us your name and your address, please, ma'am. You have 5 minutes.
So my name is April Tanner. My address is 448 Brumbelow Road, Aragon, Georgia, 30104. And I'm just here to address our underage drinking problem, especially in the downtown area, and especially concerning Peaches. My son, Cade, who's with us tonight, he's a miracle. He shouldn't be here. His journey started January of 2021 when he had a friend call him who had been drinking underage, she was 19, at Peaches. She called him at 1 o'clock in the morning to come walk her to her car, and he, at 18, and his friend, who was 16, went into Peaches, never asked a question, never carded, nothing, at 1 o'clock in the morning to get these 2 girls and walk out with them. From there, being a teenager and their lovely minds and lack of thinking, he got in the back seat of her car drunk, and she had a wreck on Highway 101 right before you get to Polk County line. They went down a 70-foot embankment. He and his friend were ejected from the vehicle. Cade suffered a spinal cord injury at C4, C5. He is a quadriplegic. His friend Trace suffered a TBI. I have pictures. Of course, at the Alcohol Control Commission, I just gave the pictures of Cade. Tonight I have him. Trace wasn't able to make it. His mom wasn't sure that he could handle it mentally, just being here, but they wanted to be here. But my whole thing at this point is, Ms. Shaw is concerned because her busy season's about to come. The college kids are about to start coming. Most of the college kids are underage. They're coming in as freshmen and sophomores, and she's not even carding them when they walk in the door. If you troll social media right now, every time you scroll on weekend, on Friday and Saturday nights, kids 17, 18, 19 years old are in her establishment every weekend drinking. They've got their pictures all over social media. They're being served, and they're not even being carded. You ask them how'd you get it? Nobody asked me anything. So, and that may be going on at other places too. I don't know, but I just know it's her establishment that I know more about, that I've seen more about, that I've seen pictures of, and the kids that I know that are going. And I know their age, and I know how old they are, and I know that they shouldn't even be in there, but they're coming and going as they please. The bar fight was terrible, and I hate it. My son's life's been changed forever. He knows his mistake. He owns it. But we'd also like to try to keep it from happening to anyone else. Kids are stupid. They're going to make bad decisions. But our business owners and our adults don't have to make it easy on them. They don't have to hand them over the alcohol. They don't have to serve them just to make a buck. We need to think about where our community's going, and we need to protect our kids.
Thank you. We have no resolutions, nothing on first reading, nothing on second reading. We have nothing continued on first reading. We do have some public hearing. Okay, right.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to be reading from my phone tonight. I left my paperwork. The first request is Z22-08-01, which requests rezone from community commercial to high-density traditional residential for the property located 11 West Forest Street, Foley County Tax Parcel J14E231. This does come with a recommendation of approval from Planning Commission as well as staff. The parcel is outlined in red. This is a home in South Rome. It was designed and built to be a residential structure. At some point, it became zoned community commercial. The property owner is looking to sell it, and unfortunately nowadays you cannot get a mortgage with most financial institutions if a property is not zoned to be residential. So this is really just a cleanup. They're asking to go to high-density traditional residential, which is adjacent on 3 sides. And so this is pretty much just the cleanup of the zoning map. This is what we would consider a gimme. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, at this time I'll declare the public hearing open. Do we have anyone here to speak in favor of? Okay. Do we have anyone here to speak in opposition of? Okay, if you will, if you go to the podium, give us your name and your address.
Do you want my home address? I'm from Cartersville.
That's fine.
Okay. I'm Nathan. I'm from 37 Willow Bend Drive, Cartersville, Georgia.
Nathan, so do you have a last name?
Oh, yeah, sorry, Smith.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You know, I'm the realtor for the family trying to buy it. It's a family of 6. They've got kids they're going to be putting through the Rome school city system, all that. They're going to be spending money in Rome, and he's working in Rome. They're just trying to buy a house down here. He's a veteran, disabled, so he's just trying to find somewhere to live. And it's, you know, like he said, on all 3 sides it's adjacent. I don't remember the zoning he said it was, but that's just all I got.
Thank you. Okay. We had no one to speak in opposition of it. This time I'll declare the public hearing closed. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the rezoning from community commercial to high-density traditional residential.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any discussion? No discussion, Mr. Clerk, if you will call the roll.
Yes, ma'am. Commissioner Cochran?
Yes.
Beeman?
Yes.
Dawes?
Yes.
Quick?
Yes.
Askew?
Yes.
Collins? You left? McDaniel?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Your motion carries. All righty, item B.
The next request is Z22-08-05. This is requesting the rezone from community commercial to multifamily residential for the property at 23 Chateau Drive, Rome, Georgia, Foley County Tax Parcel J15W469B, and portions of parcels J15W470, J15W472, and J15W471 as shown on the provided plat. Applicant owner, 5th Street Skytop LLC. This is the one we had last month. It is the hotel on Chateau Drive. The desire is to convert it into micro apartments. As you know, there have been, 3 other requests, similar requests, 2 right here along this immediate area. Staff had expressed concern about the potential ability to just blur the line between hotels and apartments. With the rezoning, that's not possible. I mean, you're committed to being multifamily at this point. It could not go back to a commercial use. And if you notice, I'd say 95% of Chateau Drive is some sort of multifamily, whether it's apartments, townhouses, duplexes, senior assisted living. So this does come with a recommendation of approval from staff as well as the Planning Commission.
Okay, thank you. This time I'll declare the public hearing open. Do we have anyone here to speak in favor of? Do we have anyone here to speak in opposition of? Okay, no one to speak in opposition of, but if you will go to the podium, give us your name and your address, and you have up to 10 minutes, please.
Joe Hoffman here, the attorney representing 5th Skytop. It's 5555 Glen Ridge Connector in Sandy Springs. Glad to visit with you once again. Excited to be here to represent 5th Skytop, which is doing the 3rd rendition. Ryan Griffin here to my right is the owner of the Hilltop and the Skytop, and this is the 3rd bookend to that operation. We were pleased to hear that we had the opportunity to come before you again mostly to have the rezoning designation of multifamily. This is what Mr. Griffin does. He does not blur the lines. He is a multifamily apartment operator of top-notch facilities. And I'm happy to answer any questions if there might be with respect to the surveys, but I'll let Mr. Griffin speak for himself. Thank you.
Ryan Griffin, 20 and 21 Chateau Drive, and hopefully shortly hereafter 23. Owner of the 2 adjacent properties. This will be our 3rd one, kind of completing the project. These will all be apartments. We totally agree in support of not doing the community commercial and blurring the lines. We remain committed to running a top-notch apartment community, just like we have at Skytop and Hilltop, and look forward to doing it again. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'll declare the public hearing closed. This time I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the request to rezone from community commercial to multifamily residential for the property located at 23 Chateau Drive.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Have any discussion?
Can we ask, I do want to ask the question about the screening. Yes, I do want to entertain a question. So when you have people coming in to apply for the apartments now, how are you screening them?
We have, always do background check. Of course, that's the most important thing. We do have, credit checks, standard stuff. Income, we do have minimum income, 2 times the monthly rent. But it's standard, operating, nothing special, just.
Will it be on-site management, or will it be on-site management, or?
On-site management,
Okay.
Full-time.
If you will speak into the mic, please. Okay, thank you.
Yes, full-time on-site property management. Now, we already have that in place at the other 2 adjacent properties, so we'll have a manager in a full-time on-site manager in all 3 communities.
And I know that there's people I know there's a need, there's definitely a need, but I know there is also a concern that it won't turn into what we saw on Martha Beer Highway. How you have people coming in and they're renting and you're jumping from place to place. So I know there's a concern that you're talking about 6 months rental, 6 months leases, year leases, and you have people coming in that's hopping from place to place, and you have, will it have additional security, or
So we do, so I guess as far as the lease terms, I can speak to the Skytop property, which is full. I'd say out of 200 units, maybe there are 10 leases that aren't 12-month leases. We charge a premium if anyone insists on, I'm only going to be here 6. It's usually like a traveling nurse, some kind of scenario like that. So no, we wish, and we want everyone to be on a 12-month lease. So we want a community and people living there. So like I said, off the top of my head, there may be 10 residents out of 200 who are on shorter-term leases. So no, we're in agreement. We welcome. We want 12-month leases. We want a community that's there for the long haul. Security, we have cameras throughout. We have someone who monitors those 24/7. So yes, there's cameras and a monitoring company for those.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I guess my question is, in terms of people that are trying to break the lease, what does that involve?
So, like I said, I guess I'll look for us. Well, the ones on the shorter term leases, it's kind of a moot point. They know how long they're there. On a 12-month lease, we do require, not only a 30-day notice, but then they have to pay an additional, month's termination fee. So, if someone just up and leaves, it could be essentially 2 months rent payment that they would owe us. So, it, can get quite costly if they try to do that. Yes.
Well, I think the commission's putting a lot of faith that you will keep it a first-class operation.
That's our goal, and like I said, we if you all haven't got a chance to see it at Skytop, that indoor-outdoor pool is now open. It was a project that it had some work to do. We're moving on to the gym there. At the Hilltop, we have the pool open, the gym open, and our goal is we want it to be a Class A apartment you know, nice, but something a little bit more affordable than, you know, what else is offered. So that, I will reiterate that commitment. That's our goal as well.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
One of my concerns is that we have a lot of children who are affected by homelessness because their parents can't afford to pay that amount of rent. They are not necessarily able to go into public housing. And I know that it's not your responsibility to do so, but how do you see this affecting part of that homelessness issue?
So, you know, I do feel we are an affordable product. We, you know, all of our rents include water, power, cable, internet, fully furnished, which a lot of, you know, furniture is expensive right now. Everything is expensive right now. So, you know, when you include that, we feel it's a very affordable product, and we do have, you know, some single parents on the property, you know, some kids. It's not a ton. It tends to lend itself toward probably a lot of younger professionals, singles, but we do have, I think it does serve that need, and we do currently have, you know, some people that is serving, and we also work with, you know, getting people in, you know, we balance, you know, we do have income requirements, we do have credit requirements, but we work with these people, and we do have companies we work with that can, you know, if people have a shorter credit history, can kind of like a bonding company. So we do, you know, we want to be accommodating and work towards that solution when we can make it happen. And you know, we welcome anyone that'll be a good resident on our property.
What will be your rental rates?
So right now we're at 1,000. Like I said, that's inclusive of the utilities, cable, internet, furniture. So, you know, I guess the rent would be kind of equivalent of, call it 700 or so. And like I said, all the properties have, you know, top-end amenities. You know, we have the indoor-outdoor pool, the gym that's included. There's a little coffee area, an office area. You know, you have the on-site management, on-site maintenance, security. So we feel it's, you know, you kind of get some of the nicest amenities, but you're at a affordable, which is a relative term these days. But you know, that's the rates we're at currently.
Okay. No other questions? Okay, so Ms. Cook?
Commissioner Cochran?
Yes.
Beeman?
Yes.
Doss?
Yes.
Quick?
Yes.
Askew?
Yes.
McDaniel?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
motion carries.
Thank you all.
Okay. Moving on to item C.
The next is a special use permit request. The applicant requests a special use permit to operate a property as a house of worship for the property at 333 Brandham Avenue, Rome, Georgia, 30161, Floyd County tax parcels I-14W491 and I-14W433. The property is zoned high-density traditional residential. Was designed to be a house, and you have a vacant lot across the street, a gravel lot. It's my understanding it's most recently been used for nonprofit use. This particular street, Brandham Avenue, is wide enough for some on-street parking, even though it's not officially marked. And churches are one of those things that are more commonly allowed in residential areas. It's kind of a neighborhood feature, kind of like parks or schools. This does come with a recommendation of approval from staff as well as the Planning Commission.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I will declare the public hearing open. Do we have anyone here to speak in favor of? Do we have anyone here to speak in opposition of? Okay, seeing none, I'll declare the public hearing closed, and I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the request for a special use permit to use as a house of worship.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second, okay. Any discussion?
I have one question. A building that size doesn't have to be sprinkled, does it?
If the occupant load gets over 100 people, if they serve alcohol, or if the occupant load gets over 300 people and they don't serve alcohol, it simply being an assembly building doesn't require it to be sprinkled.
That sounded like it came out of a book.
Good answer.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Any other questions? Discussion, okay, none. Mr. Clerk, if you will, call the roll.
Commissioner Cochran,
Yes.
Beeman,
Yes.
Dawes.
Yes.
Quick,
Yes.
Askew,
Yes.
McDaniel.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The motion carries. Okay, moving right along. Item D.
All right, our final item for the evening is special use permit request SUP 22-08-02. This is for the gun store on Dean Avenue at 1200 Dean Avenue, currently zoned community commercial, Foley County tax parcels J14J343, J14J344. They are requesting to demo some storage units behind the building on an adjacent property that they own and install a indoor gun range. The ULDC really does not even mention firearms for the most part. However, we did some research, and apparently our predecessor, Sue Hiller, back in the day when Live Fire opened out on Kingston Highway, she required them to get an SUP. So for the sake of, being consistent, we decided to do the same thing. These are the two applicant properties, the old storage units behind the building. You really can't see them from any of the streets. Our only concern was you do have some residential just across the side street there. We did want to make sure that the soundproofing is good enough that those people will not be disturbed. And that is actually pretty easily possible nowadays with modern building materials. So this does come with a recommendation of approval from staff as well as the Planning Commission. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, at this time, I'll declare the public hearing open. Do we have anyone here to speak in favor of? Okay. Do we have anyone here to speak in opposition of? Okay, seeing none. Sir, if you would go to the podium, give us your name and address, and you have up to 10 minutes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First of all, my name is Greg Gibson, 401 Amberwood Connector over in New Harley, Georgia. Second of all, I want to take just a split second of my time to tell you thank you for opening this meeting with a prayer. I thought that was gone, politically incorrect in this era, but apparently not. Still some good morals in Rome. So thank you. Second of all, we are looking to build a nicer range in the downtown area over on this end of Dean Avenue, the western end of Dean Avenue. This range will accommodate about 8 to 10 lanes for training purposes, for target shooting, for family-oriented events, so that you can come in if you have a child, a grandchild, and you want them to learn how to operate and use a gun fluently. They can come in a safe, clean environment with a range instructor on hand to teach them how to use a firearm. Something that we feel like is very important in today's time. There are so many political problems with firearms right now that can't be answered, but we know that education has got to be number one. It's got to be. And so this, give a kid a gun and send him out in the backyard on the farm and say, go learn how to use that. It's not going to work anymore. So, and there's not a range in downtown Rome. Almost every major city in the United States that is up to par is acquiring a range with some certified individuals at that range to teach individuals how to use firearms. And that's what we're after. It's not going to be something that I'll use some slang and call it a redneck Riviera gun club. We're not after that. We want a good, clean-cut environment, something that, like I said, is noise controlled. Number one thing we're after is safety. Safety for the individuals that are buying firearms, safety for the individuals that are using firearms, and safety for the range over there that we're looking to open. And I'll be glad to answer any questions.
What will be your hours of operation?
Typically, they're going to be about, our shop now is open. We're there in a gun shop now. We're open 9 to 5. However, we understand that individuals that get off work at 4:30 or 5 o'clock are going to want to go that afternoon and shoot. However, we would like to see that come to an end at about 8:30, maybe getting the last participants out of there by 9 o'clock. Something in a reasonable hour where we can still go to bed and not have to worry about who's walking out of a business next door with a firearm.
Would outside firearms be welcome to your facility, or you provide it?
They will, but there are stipulations to that. There are controls that we seek. We won't allow you to bring ammo in because we don't know where you got that from or what that ammo is loaded with. There are certain ammunitions that, as good as some people are, they reload that ammunition themselves at home, and then they want to come to a range. They say they save a little bit of money, but mistakes happen. If they overload one of those cartridges, we can have a fault in there. We do not want that. So we will control the amount of ammunition that is used and what type of ammunition is used in there, as well as when they walk into the door with a firearm, there will be someone there to make sure that that firearm is clear. And there are things you may not be aware of. They're called barrel flags. And so it's a little device that goes inside your firearm to show us, so we can physically see from me to you that that firearm is empty and unloaded.
I've been asking my husband to purchase me a gun, but he won't let me do it because he says I don't have the education, so I'll probably be your first customer.
You come and see me and I'll give you permission. There's a few other things. It's not just that we're after certain things. We do things in a specific manner. We have ATF compliance inspections that we follow. We knock those out of the park. We have, out of 4,000 forms, 4473 forms, which are background checks, we had 0 firearms wind up in a illegitimate transaction where somebody acquired one that they weren't supposed to have, or mistake. It's human error to make a mistake in writing occasionally. We had a 0.0003% mistake error out of 4,000 forms. So it's not just that we're looking to do something. We do our best at all times. It's not something that you would see a shabby result over there.
Okay.
Go ahead. Could you speak a moment about soundproofing your facility? Because I live in the neighborhood across the street, and I'd hate to hear that. Did you hear those gunshots? How does that work?
So there are a multitude of manufacturers that produce soundproofing. There's a product called Perlite that goes in between the existing wall and another wall, and it's simply made to absorb sound. That's what it does, whether it be from a gunshot, whether it be from construction work. You hear it. I heard a while ago about the apartments trying to get built. They use it in motel rooms, in between the walls in motel rooms, to absorb that sound, dampen the sound. What our goal is to bring that down to somewhere around 60 decibels in that neighborhood. 60 decibels is what you and I would stand outside and have a normal conversation face to face. So if we can keep that sound inside down somewhere in the 60 decibel range, you're never going to hear it at your house. Unless you're really good.
Thank you.
I think Mark had a question.
What's the highest caliber?
There's a lot of speculation on what is acceptable in a range. This is going to be a 25-yard range is what we're looking at producing over there. There's really no need to shoot some of the really high-powered rifles, something in like a .338 or a 50 BMG, some of those things. There's really no need to. However, we will be set up to absorb that, so that if whatever takes place in there, we will be able to absorb the biggest round that's produced in the market, period.
So is your backstop A500?
It is a, we don't have the specs on the steel yet, but it will be A500 or stronger, which is a level 3 steel. But there's several designs that can be put into place in that. One we're looking at is a roll design, so that even the weakest of the metal that is in the market, that bullet just basically spins itself out of energy.
And you'll have a lead capture behind?
Yes.
How about overhead baffles?
The overhead baffles will be in place. There will be steel reinforced sides, concrete floor. There is literally, with the design, and of course, building inspections gets to oversee the design, but there is no way for, that is the goal, there's no way for a bullet to leave that premise.
Awesome.
Even,
Just out of curiosity, you're gonna have a hand cranker? For targets.
I want the push button. I want the push button, but we'll see. No, theoretically, the push button for the we're talking about two different things. No, there will be a push button for the targets. In the back, the clean out, there's an auger back there that will roll out the spent casing. I mean the spent bullets, and there's a push button auger that will just roll those right out into a tub for you. So I want the push button, but we'll let the price dictate that.
Looking forward to visiting.
If I could ask our staff, this came with staff recommendation and a 7-0 vote by the Planning Commission.
Yes, sir.
I actually also used to live at this intersection right up on Highland Avenue, and probably the loudest thing in the area is actually Hilbert Robertson's when they start using power tools. I heard that. Luckily, I was at work during the day, but if you're at home during the day, you're more likely to hear an impact wrench than.
I'll say that. I also live nearby. I see a sign every day. I basically look at it, every day, haven't had any comments from any of the neighbors.
Madam Mayor, I make a motion that we approve this.
Just a minute, let me close the public hearing, yes, that's right. Yes, you're welcome, sir. Yes, the public hearing is now closed, okay. Now I'll entertain a motion.
Thank you very much. I'll make a motion that we approve this request for the special use permit to operate an indoor gun range.
Okay, I have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
Okay. No other discussion? Mr. Clark?
Yes, ma'am. Commissioner Cochran?
Yes.
Beeman?
Yes.
Doss?
Yes.
Quick?
Yes.
Askew?
Yes.
McDaniel?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you all. Okay. Mr. Clark?
No report, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Manager?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Briefly, having a holiday of closing. The City of Rome, our administrative offices will close in observance of Labor Day, Monday, September 5th. And for those who want to get your garbage and recyclables picked up, the Monday route will be picked up on Tuesday the 6th, and we'll push Tuesday to Wednesday, September the 7th. And so Thursday, Friday will be business as usual, and we will have limited hours down at the Walker Mountain Landfill on Monday the 5th from 8 to 11. And that concludes my report, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Attorney?
No report, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. I have no report under my time. Just let me do briefly mention that we are continuing to negotiate with the county on our lost thing that we have to have completed by the end of the month, so that is being continued. Okay? All right. Doesn't it, Mayor Pro Tem?
Just a time and a date on that last negotiation that we're going to have probably the 24th, which is Wednesday at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Same team? That's right. That's right.
Okay,
And
thank
that
you.
concludes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that. Commissioner Beaman?
I just wanted to share that last week, on August 18th, the library board and the trustees met at 4 p.m. in the Bear Room, and our first appointee was also there, and also a representative from the city of Rome City Schools. So we had a great representation at the last board meeting. That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Dawes?
Thank you, Mayor. The Tourism Committee will meet Wednesday, August 24th. That's day after tomorrow at 11:45 at the Rome Area History Center. Thank you. That's my report.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Quick?
Just one meeting announcement. The Rome Floyd Planning Commission will meet Thursday, September 1st, 2:30 p.m. in the Sam King Room. And Madam Mayor, just to make sure that we get everything on record, we did have a private session in caucus.
I'll take care of that. Thank you, sir. Okay. Commissioner Askew?
Madam Mayor, under the Solid Waste Commission, the recycling invoices, the deficit invoices are being presented. The deficit at the recycling center is divided into thirds, and our part of the bill is $6,886.37. And I move that we handle that, we pay that, our part of the deficit so that the recycling center can continue. The recycling center is actually run by the county, but the responsibility is divided into thirds. 1/3 of the county, 1/3 of the city, and the other of the recycling center. So I move that we approve the payment of our portion of the deficit.
Okay, thank you. I have a motion to pay the deficit. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any questions?
Just a comment, we've said this before, but recycling costs our community money, but instead of pushing everything in the landfill, we believe and want people to recycle, so it's the right thing to do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay. All right, Court?
Commissioner Cochran,
Yes.
Beeman,
Yes.
Doss,
Yes.
Quick,
Yes.
Askew,
Yes.
McDaniel.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion carries. Anything else?
No, Madam Mayor, I'll refrain.
Okay, thank you. Under Commissioner Collins' time, the General Administration Committee will meet Tuesday, which is tomorrow, August the 23rd, 11 a.m. at Stonebridge Golf Course. And for those of you that know, Commissioner Collins did tell me earlier in the conference that he would have to leave early today, so he had permission to leave early. Okay, Commissioner McDaniel.
I have no report.
Okay, no report. Also, tonight you see that Commissioner Bojo is absent, but he is traveling home. He has been in a GMA training, and so he had to come through Atlanta traffic, and he didn't make it here tonight. And as Commissioner Quick stated earlier, we did go into private time in caucus to discuss a real estate matter. Mayor Pro Tem Cochran motioned that we go in, and it was seconded by Commissioner Askew, and there were no actions taken. And Commissioner Quick motioned for us to come out, and it was seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Cochran. Okay, with that, I want to say to you all have a safe and happy Labor Day weekend. Enjoy it. But thank you for coming. Please do come back. Meeting adjourned.
Rome City Commission.